and good morning or afternoon or evening to you from wherever you are joining us today. Today is a big day for us, and it's one of the first of its kind Atera webinars where we about to share some of the future developments we're about to present in the coming months and quarters. And today's topic is the asset management reimagined. I'm your host, Dima, and today I'm accompanied by Itai and Roy from our product team. Roy is the product manager, and Itai is the senior product designer. And while people are joining, we will give them another couple of minutes. Just let us know from where you're joining in the chat, just so we know who is our audience today. And we would appreciate if you can hear us all right. And yeah, okay, Steven. So now I know you can hear me. Okay, Minnesota, Texas. Hi, everyone. So US so far. Okay. Roy, Tai, we can also, say hi to each other and yeah, greet our guests
Yes.
joining.
Hello, everyone. Good to see everyone here.
Okay, Germany, Canada. Okay. Yeah, so before we begin, guys, on the right-hand side, you will see the Q&A section where you can post your questions. And we will definitely respond to them at the end of this session because we have a lot of ground to cover, and we will show you how asset management will work and advance inside Atera's UI. And not only UI, in the whole ecosystem. Okay, let's have another maybe 20 seconds. And before we actually begin, for all the people who are just new to our webinar library, I will probably share it on the screen. And Leo, if possible, can you share the link uh, in the chat that you can always go to atera.com/webinars, and we have a bunch of stuff there which you can access on demand. You can watch it at your own pace. Some of them are walkthroughs, some of them are in-depth into specific features, some of them are partner sessions, and you can always see our schedule for the upcoming webinars. So definitely check it out, and don't forget to follow us on all our socials, LinkedIn included, but not limited to, so you can stay up to date what we have for the sessions to come. Okay, let's get back to the main topics of today's webinar. Asset management reimagined. I think a lot of people have joined. Welcome, everyone. Leora, thank you so much for pasting the link. So guys, feel free to bookmark this and maybe like open it in a secondary tab so you can go there after we finish with the session. Okay, so today's topic is asset management reimagined. It's, where do I begin? It's a hot topic. Roy and Itai can confirm this, that it's highly requested feature to have in Atera, but it existed for quite some time. However, we discovered that there is a more extensive need uh, to have the data around the devices and to connect the dots in between the physical realm of the assets and the realm of RMM, which is all the RMM actions that you can possibly do with your assets if you can, if those devices are IP driven, obviously. Let's start with the agenda. So, as I said, today I'm accompanied by two wonderful people from our product team. We will give you a bit of a background if you're new to the asset management in general. We will show you what's different between the old and the new version of the product. We will do a quick demonstration of what's to come in the phase one of the upcoming feature, and we will also give you a sneak peek, and we will give you some teasers of what's to come in the coming quarter slash coming year. So we will be definitely happy if you will be posting questions as we move through the slides and we'll move through the demo. Yeah, and we will be happy to respond to them in the last 15 to 20 minutes of the demonstrations. Okay. Yeah, as I said, I'm accompanied today by two people from the product. Roy and Itai, you can join me. You can join me back. So I think everyone would appreciate if we can see your faces. And yeah, so asset management was quite a hot topic inside Atera. So, Roy, maybe one of the first question. So we discussed it in briefly. So maybe you can quickly share for how long was it in discussion and in designing phase and development?
Yeah, so I got into this project actually together with Itai in January, and we did extensive user interviews, and we mapped all the gaps customers have around asset management. And what you're going to see now is the result of all this processing, user interviews, surveys that we conducted and got into this solution, basically.
Okay, thanks. Okay, let's move with a bit of do a couple of steps back and traverse into back to January. So this, what you see right now on the screen and what we're going to talk about right now is the fundamental things inside the asset management as a whole. So even though the icons are present on the screen, as you can see them right now in a linear fashion, this process is more of a cycle rather than a linear process. So take this with a grain of salt. But anyway, this process can contain or might not contain several steps out of all six. However, we had this exact 6 steps to be present inside the next generation of Atera asset management, because it all begins when you're trying to purchase a device as a company. Then you need to distribute it across your employees, do some software deployments. You need to know and make sure that it's monitored, up to date, patched, and secure at all times. You need to know when you need to service and decommission devices, and rinse and repeat as you move forward with all things that are related to asset management. And the larger your organization is, you're probably dealing with not hundreds but even thousands of devices, and it gets taxing at times if we're passing through an insane amount of machines that you manage. And this is where the asset management comes in. Previously in Atera, we used to have a very, let's say, slimmed down version, which was mainly present in the UI and it was like it had several features. So it was mostly manual process, except for the mass import for the assets, which was added, I think, several months ago. Except this, the reporting capabilities and the device tracking in the assets tab inside the site or customer, it was very limited. However, through the research and a lot of questionnaires and customer development calls, we found out like a good formula that can work for most of our customers. And but still, we're open to feedback, and this session is exactly about this. At the end of the session, there will be a survey, and we will definitely be happy for any feedback that you can share, because we're in this together, and we will be more than happy to see what you think of it, and we will be happy to develop this feature further together with you. So what's different? The new solution gives you a more comprehensive lifecycle management. It provides that connection between the custom assets as physical devices and monitor devices as they are present right now on the devices section of Atera, which we will cover in the demo part. And the new solution is mainly focused around making these two realms connected and talking to each other in a nice way, hopefully. So to complement how all these components will work together, we are working on improving the reporting capabilities on the platform. And also, we are working on highly requested feature, which is warranty fetching from the hardware vendors. And we'll talk about this more in a second. Okay. Without further ado, I would suggest us to switch to our demo environment. And let's begin. What I'm about to show you, and I will be accompanied by Roy and Itai, and I would appreciate, guys, if you can jump on a conversation. So it's just not me talking into the web.
We're always here. We're always here with you.
Yeah, great.
We're waiting to see also reactions to what is being presented and discussed. Your opinion is very important to us. This is also part of the reason of doing this webinar.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so as you can see, I'm in the customer tab or sites tab, depending on which product you are inside Atera. And you right now can see that the assets tab looks a bit different from what you're used to see. And if you're an existing customer or trialing customer, you can go right now in your demo environment. You will see the old UI, which is missing several columns, which are present here on the screen. And they consist of several things. And again, this is the phase one of this solution, but it will be much more robust in the coming quarter. Let's look at the UI. So it's basically, as you can see, the devices that you see that you see here is looking way more different than it is right now. The assets are represent all the devices, regardless if they are like laptops, keyboards, or something else. You can group those devices by the asset type, so you can measure and get a quick overview of what's happening inside the organization. You can also go by contact and understand which person has what. It's very crucial during the onboarding and mostly during the offboarding phases. And you will see which equipment belongs to which person, and you can see the status, the warranty dates. You're able to delete and modify things as you're moving through the editing capabilities that we offer at the beginning of this. At the beginning phase of this feature. So as you can see, you can change the status if something changed with the device you have. You also can change the purchase date. It was not put into the system not in an accurate way. Warranty expiration, same thing. You can reassign it to a different person if device has switched hands in between the organization, and you can assign it to a different folder, but we don't have them in this specific customer. What's more interesting is that so you can also see what is in use, but more on this is that the filtering capabilities are also present here. And as you can see, one of the main filters in the data, like related to data that we are presenting today, is the warranty tracking. So we will be introducing the warranty expiration in the phase one. disclaimer, it will be a somewhat manual process. However, with the mass asset import, it will be somewhat automated because it can be pasted at scale. However, in the future phases, and maybe I will talk to you, Roy, so you can shed some light on the warranty aspect that we're working on. So, what is to expect from the warranty fetching perspective?
Yeah, so basically we are currently working with Dell. So the first phase, it's the second phase. Basically, we'll have automatic fetching for Dell, and afterwards it will be Lenovo, Mac, and the other providers, and we will like have a small talk about it in the roadmap section at the end of the presentation. And one more thing that I wanted to also show here is that you show the group by feature. So if you can show it again and choose status, group by status, and here you can actually by customer or by site see like an inventory view of all of your assets, and to see okay, I have a new headset, I have new keyboard, monitor, laptop. Maybe I'm missing something. I want extra asset that I'm missing, and I might want to purchase it. And so this will help. It's a minor inventory step, but I think it will be very beneficial to understand what's for that customer or for that site. What assets do we have there? And also the contact, as you shown before, is something that was hard to see in the previous UI, and now it's very easy. You just see the contact, you group by contact, you can choose and see all the assets Itai, for example, have. So it's very, or me, I have many here, I see.
Yeah, you're signed on many
So don't leave just yet.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah, when I leave, I need to return many things now.
By the way, and by the way, this is a use case. So this is one of the use cases of checking out who has what. From here, you would be able to also group by yeah, this is already on contact. Sorry, I missed it. On contact by folder. So the idea is to give you as many tools as you can have to see your inventory the way you need to see it. And so this is the idea here.
Yeah. Okay. And the most important topic, the warranty. So this lives in the filters and the warranty expiration. There will be many options to choose from, but you can, for example, you can see from here which devices are about to expire in terms of warranty, and you can take managerial actions accordingly, and you can anticipate what's running out of life. Maybe you need to replace, maybe you need to contact your vendor to extend the service contract, you name it. Because to my experience, a lot of devices and a lot of companies are like at least, and they have something to cover the hardware and cover the hardware. Maybe there is an extensive support. So whenever you have this need for this information, this is exactly what you obtain it. And also by purchase date, you can track and trace whichever device was bought in a given period of time, and based on this, you can move forward with the data you have in your possession. How does the next question is, how does the import happen? So the feature that was introduced recently was the ability to import assets at scale. So importing assets at scale, so this is where you can define which custom asset. So basically, you can define which device has which attributes, and you can import them at scale. Regardless the quantity, so it can be like dozens, hundreds, and thousands. I was witnessing a live import of more than like 4,000 devices live on one of the calls we Yeah, so on one of the calls, and it's just easy as like selecting the asset type, and all the relevant field will be present in the template you can download below, and you import the assets accordingly. And one of the fields, probably for laptops and headsets and everything else, will be the serial numbers, but it's something that we will cover very, very soon. Back to the assets tab. Anything to add, here, Roy, before we move forward?
Yeah, I also see like questions around it, and like the device connecting here. So this is the first phase, which doesn't include the connection to the device itself. We will show it as next steps soon in the presentation. And so I understand the need to ask where are the devices, because we know from our research that's like the number one um, challenge we have, is how to have all these devices and assets and treat them together in harmony. And we will answer this soon.
Yeah, because historically in Atera, there are like the assets were like coexisting, but not in like, but we're in different rooms, if I may put it in simple terms. Yeah, so now we're finally breaking this fourth wall and making them connected. Yeah, so uh, each and every asset you can access, and you will see like what's the status, and you will see all the fields. You can also add the custom fields, even the pricing, the price for this device, the purchase date, and all that. The main thing is that all these custom fields will also be present in the advanced reporting moving forward, and you will be soon be having the ability to see the respective data in as a data set in the advanced reporting, which will come very, very soon. And yeah, so here is the UI as it is right now. What else? More important is that the current UI already allows you to do mass actions, track warranty. Very soon it will be capable to recap what we're discussing right now. It will give you the possibility to track and trace the warranties, and basically give you more control and understanding um, of what you're having in terms of assets. But the main question remains, how do you connect the devices and the assets, and what thing do they have in common? I briefly mentioned that in the devices tab, you have a parameter which is very unique to each and every device, and it's a serial number. And this is what we're about to cover in the upcoming phases of the feature. And let me switch back to the presentation so I can show you. I'm seeing many questions also in the chat and the Q&A. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, trying to answer as much as I can. A lot of the questions are awesome questions, and these are exactly what we were set out to do. So as Dima just mentioned, this is the challenge that we are here to tackle. So the future, like how can we attach an asset, a device, excuse me, an existing device right now on Atera that all of you have, and represent it on the inventory, because a device right now in Atera is basically the agent, the software that is installed on a physical device, right, a laptop, for example. But this device on Atera, the object called device, is not the representation of the physical item, right? It's the data that we have by monitoring that physical thing. So what we want to introduce, and Dima will show it in a second, is how we can also represent the physical thing, the computer, for example, the laptop, and link it to the device which monitors it. The need here is for every one of you to be able to track the real inventory, not just the devices on Atera right now, because these are the assets that have an agent on them. What about the assets that sits on the shelf? What about the assets that are on the plane on the way to you that are just purchased? What about them? So these are also crucial for inventory management.
And not only for MSPs it is crucial, but also for ITDs. And I see a couple of comments like that these features would be nice to see in the ITD environment. So this feature is coming to both environments. Just to set the stage for maybe future questions. So this feature is coming to both ITD and MSP. And it will be available on all plans. However, on our pricing page, you can see across the subscription levels that we offer tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 subscriptions. So you will see the amount of custom assets that you can possibly have. So it's either 5 on tier 2 subscription, regardless of the MSP and ITD, 20 on tier 3, and unlimited on Superpower and Enterprise. This will be the difference, but the feature itself will be available to every type of the product that we currently offer. So Mark and yeah, Mark, I think your question received a lot of likes, so addressing this, but I see some similar questions in the feed. Okay, let's move back to the future. So how it will look like? As you can see, it will be looking in a bit of a different way, and the couple of things that you will probably notice in this UI, and I will be doing my best to focus everyone's attention because it's hard to follow spreadsheet style pictures in this regard, and this is why I'm introducing you like the manage inventory, because this button doesn't exist in the phase 1, but it will in the coming phase, right after the phase 1. And as you can see, so there are 3 actions that you can do to manage your inventory. So the asset types and device type mapping and automations. So device type mapping is key here because it will specifically be targeted to make Atera understand how physical assets talk to remotely managed devices. And to fully utilize this, we will even introduce a new section inside Atera. It will be a separate section, and it will be a new button in the menu on the left. It will be called Asset Inventory. And it will
just
show you. Yeah.
Sorry, Dima. Just because we saw like people asking about the ITD, so I'm guessing ITD administrator usually will use this area, like the central inventory in the central navigation, where MSPs usually will go to the customer tab. That's what we see with the devices as well. So ITDs usually go to the main devices in the menu, and MSPs go to the devices inside the customer tab. And so we will have both. We will support both, and that's important for me to mention. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you don't have to be because this is very important to to stress it out, because asset inventory will be per customer or per site, and there will be a general list and a separate tab to see everything that you have in your possession, because there are like situations when you need to transfer a device from one site to another, or maybe you're going to repurpose the device in between the customers, and plenty of use cases to see here, but we will get to this in the future. So, and also the most important part of it is.
Sorry to cut you off. We just have some comments in the comment section talking about the blurriness of the images. Maybe we can pull up the backup photos that we have in order for everyone to have a full grasp.
Sure. Let me do this right now. Let me stop sharing and share a different window instead. Okay. Let me know if the screenshot I'm about to present is any better compared to, let me, okay, yes, found it. Okay. So I think you can see it right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, I think it's a bit better. It has the, okay. Is it better?
I see. It's better than before. Yeah. For me, let's wait, see the reactions.
Yeah.
But
Giovanni said it like, yeah, nice. Okay. So this column represents the link devices. And as you can see that in one specific case that you need to add a serial number to one of the laptops to actually link it to an asset. And this is crucial in terms of like if it's a laptop, like you might have many questions. Is it monitored? Is it patched? Is it secure? Is it in use? Is it even online? So can be many things. And this is where the mapping component, which I just covered couple of minutes ago, I covered. Let me go to the mapping process itself. So it will be in one-time effort, set and forget style, because our UI will allow you to identify which platform represents which type of the device, which OS type represents which type of the asset, and connect it accordingly. And it will utilize the serial number in both cases to cross-reference each of the realms and connect them to one another. And maybe Roy, I will probably I would love to have an open conversation with you so you can shed some more light of the technicality of what's happening.
Sure.
And yeah, let me quickly find it.
So I'll just go by flow. I think it will be very much explanatory. So you just purchased, let's say, Mac computers, like 20 Mac computers, and you do an import, and you say these are my assets. In some cases, you can get the serial numbers in the receipt even, or in the service you are using. And the idea is to create those assets as physical assets, as we mentioned before. You don't have an agent yet, and to put the serial numbers for each device. In the future, of course, we'll have like a barcode scanner to help with this, but you can also just insert it. And then you purchase it, they get like a status of purchase, then it gets into the let's say inventory. So you bulk change them. For example, you put like in stock, so they are in your stock. And then you decide to install an agent. Once you install an agent, we will check if the serial number that you defined on the asset matches the agent that just got online. And when this happens, we just connect the two and they will become one. They will become one, and you will be able to see on the device page the asset information, and on the asset page the device information. And then to continue managing the life cycle of this asset. Let's say if you delete it, the asset you can delete the asset as well, and really manage the life cycle of that physical thing. In regards to the mapping and the automation, so from day one, what we want to achieve is to have two separate flows. The first one is if you created an asset and you put the serial number, it will connect to the agent. And the second one, if you didn't define a serial number, let's say you didn't want to insert it, so we will have the option to automatically create the asset information with some default values once the agent go live. So you will be able to manage it so it will create the asset when the agent is live. So you can decide if you start with it or it comes later on when the agent is installed. So that's the two main automation we will handle. And here in the screen, you can see that once you are in the asset page and you decide to put a serial number, we will check mark it. Now, that's an agent we have, and we would automatically connect the agent to it. So it's whether you do a serial number or just search by device name, and we will connect it to the asset. So that's like the third option, how to connect an asset, like a physical asset, to an agent, which is a software. It's a monitoring software. And so that's how we see it.
Right, and I just want to add that we are adding the serial number field to any of your asset. So any asset type, whatever asset type you have, you would be able to add serial numbers. Now, what would this give you? It will give you, first of all, ability to track serial numbers for anything if you want it, even if it's not a laptop or a monitor device. Secondly, it would allow you to insert serial numbers ahead of time, like before you link, for example, all of your Mac devices to a specific asset type. Before you even do that, you would be able to insert your serial numbers to any of our existing assets, if you have existing assets, okay, today on Atera, that represents your computers. So you insert the serial numbers ahead, and once you do the matching, they will match automatically. This relates only for any of you that already have hundreds of assets today representing a device.
Okay. So we have many questions to answer. Some of them were answered in written form. However, guys, I would suggest us to pull some of those on the screen and maybe come back to the view. But before we do that, I would love to spend some time on giving people the roadmap of what's to come, because it might address some of those questions, because some of them are related to timeline, the features, would it have this, would it have that? Let's take a look at what's to come. So so the next thing that we're going to discuss is the roadmap. So in October 2024, we're gonna release the redesigned assets tab and a customer insight page again to address those questions regarding, like, will it be available to the IT department version of the product? Yes. MSP version? Yes. And there will be a new advanced report preset, which will be available from tier 2 and up to complement the newly added tab to capture the relevant data. Phase 2 is end of the year 2024. There will be a separate asset inventory page and device mapping added to the platform. Same goes to the warranty data fetching for Dell as one of the first vendors that we connected to our asset management platform. And the phase 3 is the further improvements, which will enhance your experience, add more functionalities, and warranty data fetching for more vendors that you all mentioned in the chat and the Q&A section. So it's not only for Dell, it will be also Lenovo, it will be HP, and we all will think for Apple, it will be also eventually available. So Roy, Itai, if you have something to add here, because it's quite a lot of information to digest, so I would be happy to pass the mic to you.
Okay, so I'll just say a few words just to summarize the phases. So the phase 1 is what Dima showed live to you, and it's the asset tab as part of a customer/site that will have all this group by a filter, much better experience or orientation around assets. The second phase will be around the device as an asset, as we call it, and we will also we feel that it will be grown enough for it to have its own menu item. As I said, like equivalent to the devices, you will have also inventory assets or inventory management or something with that title. And also a part of it will be warranty automatic data fetching for Dell. So this is interesting since if you will enter the serial number, basically that we mentioned before, you will be able to see the purchase day and the warranty expiration date automatically. You will not need to insert it manually. That's for Dell as a first step, and we will gradually add it to all other vendors. And this will be based on just you putting the serial number. Probably later on, we will have like a barcode scanner to help with this. But we will start with just have serial number and get so much from it, like you get the agent when it's connected and you get the warranty information. So it will be really worthwhile to answer that serial number. And the third thing is the third phase, and I think there will be other phases afterwards as well, is to gather feedbacks and to do this process me and Itai are doing from the beginning of the year of interviewing users now that they have this tool in their hands and continuously improving. So that's like the wrapping around those three phases.
Right. Yeah. If we have a couple of like 1 minute, 2 minutes, I would like to go over the use cases. I'm not sure if we lay them out and in a centralized way. So use case 1 is you create a new asset in Atera because you just purchased that. I think Rory said it before, but I think I missed something, so I want to nail it again. You create an asset on Atera. And this asset is on its way. So it's on status purchased, which is a new status we're introducing. You insert the serial number, and then once it arrives, you can change it to in stock, for example, which is another new status. And once the agent, which is installed on that laptop, wakes up for the first time with the Atera agent, the status changes to in use automatically, and it pulls everything the device and any data the device have. For example, the assigned contact and the name. So these two will be intertwined forever until you decide to detach them or to uninstall the agent. And from there on, the physical asset is represented on the inventory, and the data that you get from that asset, meaning the device, is on the devices page. Another use case is you didn't insert ahead of time the asset. You didn't log it into Atera, and you just install an agent on your asset. And once that agent wakes up, it looks for matching serial numbers, and it doesn't find any. So it creates an asset for itself with everything I just said. With status in use, it knows that it's in use because it has an agent on it. It belongs to someone. It assigns the assigned contact to the asset, and gives it its name. And those are like the main two use cases that we saw and that are going to be in this phase.
Okay. I think we covered most of the what we had for today. However, we have some time for Q&A. And at the end of the session, please don't leave just too soon, because we will have a survey, because we would appreciate your feedback, because what you will share is extremely important to our product team, and this will help us to do more meaningful improvements as we move forward with phase 2, phase 3, and onwards. So yeah, Lior will post it shortly, and we will probably switch to several questions. So one of the questions that I saw like a couple of instances of, can the upcoming expiration of a warranty trigger an alert?
Okay, so basically what we found out as part of our explorations with customers is that you don't really need alerts for warranty expiration. Basically, you can define like a schedule report that you'll send to yourself in the advanced report area, and like every week or every second week, and they will show you the list of the devices that the warranty, or I'm sorry, not devices, assets that the warranty is about to be expired. So we are not planning for alerts unless we get like a strong feedback around it. But it will be available like soon in the first phase. Just the schedule report of you getting all the almost expired devices to your email. So I think this is a significant improvement.
Okay, so one of the questions that we previously and responded, so also from like Rob, I will paste your question, but we have a bunch of this specific one. So are the updated asset management tools available at all Atera license levels? The answer is yes. However, your subscription level will define to how many custom asset types you will have access to. And as I mentioned earlier, tier 2 subscription is giving you 5 custom asset types. Tier 3 is, regardless of the ITD or the MSP, 20 asset types on tier 3 and unlimited on tier 4. So we also, I saw the question which is related to this one. We have a plan that allows for 5 asset types. Does that include laptops and desktops? So it's up to you how to utilize the amount of the custom assets you have access to. So it may include these two.
Yeah, so basically you can say, just to add to what you just said, you can say create an asset called device, and to map all the device types to that one device. On the other side, you can create an asset called I don't know, MacBook Pro, and then only map the Mac devices to it, and then a server one to map all the servers. And later on, we will have a more granular based not only on device types, but maybe also properties. But this is not in this phase, but in the future, for example, you will have like, you can map the PC device type with the property that it has battery and call it a laptop. So that will be in the next phases as well.
Right. I want to share another question. I
Sure.
already answered it, but I want to share it with everyone. So Chris asked, can you import assets from the Atera devices? So this is exactly what we're going to do for you. So you will be able to map, and Dima, can you pull that up? The mapping, the 4 options of Mac Linux server.
Sure.
So you would be able, and this will be as part of the onboarding also to this new page, and you will be able to also do that later in your settings. And you would be able to map to say, okay, I want all of my Mac devices, and I think it's exactly what Roy said, a question earlier, but going to see it from another aspect. So you will be able to say, I want my PCs device types and Mac device type to monitor, to be linked to computer asset type. So the computer asset type is an asset type you create. You gave it the name computer because this is the granularity you want. And yeah, exactly this. So you will be able to map device type to asset types. And by that, you would be able to say, okay, now I want, because I did this mapping, give me all of the existing to the inventory. I want to map everything I have already automatically to be seen in the inventory. And that way, the import is basically automatic. You just say what you want and how you want it, and we bring it to you. And for example, on this design, on this use case, you can see that Linux and server device types are only for basically servers. So you might want to automatically attach them into server asset type, which is an asset type you created. So however you see your inventory granularity, we can provide it by the device type. And as Rui said, we are actively working on expanding the granularity even more in future phases. So you can have not only by device type, but also from a property in that device type. For example, all of your MacBook Pros, all of our iMacs for different asset types. However you want to run your inventory. Hope it makes sense.
Okay.
We are getting deeper here. We are getting deeper into the. Yeah, me and Itai have like nights we were talking about those things, and it's nice to see it now, us showing it to you as well.
The only question I have, do androids dream of electric sheep? As the one book says. Yeah. So Matthias, I will share this question on screen. Where can we vote for vendors to be added? Just to create an absolute no pressure situation, I will paste the link in the chat, so you can make a post on our user voice portal and upvote what you would like to see, like what's the most important vendor for you to have beyond what we about to release in the early stages of the Atera asset management. But yeah, this is exactly the place. But also feel free to share this information with your customer success manager on any call and any interaction, because this is how we capture this and how we forward this feedback to Roy and Itai, because again, it's several people in the product team and many more people in the CS department. We cover a bit more ground with customers. So yeah, so from the physical perspective, we will be happy to share this feedback and make it huge and loud, so we can make it happen as fast as possible without sacrificing the quality, if it makes sense.
Right.
What else?
If I may, there is another one very interesting question. Sure. About an existing capability. So I really want to answer that. Nathan asks if we can expand it to track software licenses too. So basically, you can use the current system to track anything you want, and that includes software licenses. You can create a custom asset called Office 365, and for each of your licenses, give the name of the serial number, for example, and then you can keep track of all of your licenses, whatever, with whichever granularity you want. This exists today, unless you meant for something else, which is automatically.
I think that's what he means. Managing the Office 365 is quite hard, and you're usually using the Office 365 APIs to understand the number of licenses you have, and
It's
you want
onboarding,
to
offboarding
have.
devices. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
many things all at once.
it actually has initials. It's like you have it's called SAM, Software Asset Management, and I think we have it in a more basic, like you mentioned, Itai, we have it in a more basic way, more manual way, and maybe in the future we will extend this as well.
Yeah. So again, getting back to the user voice and your interactions with our customer success team. So feel free to raise it, because software distribution also a huge thing, because everything is cloud-based now. Like almost no box style old school licenses. So yeah, this is something that is definitely, we will take some notes on this topic. Okay. There is not a question, but a recommendation. Don't forget that brands like HP have also monitors, printers, and all that kind of stuff. So, guys, don't forget, please.
You're totally right. You don't have to do only laptops, also with the warranty information, etc. So we have the SNMP devices, and definitely it's something we will look into to fetch all the warranty information for those devices as well.
Okay. Okay. Okay, guys, we're almost running out of time. Yeah, and Lior just read my mind and posted a message. So there will be a survey for you to fill in. So we can capture the feedback. Roy and Itai can take their homework with them and maybe do some final touches for the phase 1 in the upcoming phases. So feel free to fill it in. It will be available to you in a second. Yeah, I think it's already open. So you will see it next to the chat and Q&A. And feel free to fill it in and send it our way. And the more, the better, because we would appreciate any extra information you can share with us. Any final things from you guys before we wrap up?
I think that the questions on the Q&A on the chat just shows us how timely this is, and we're very happy about the granularity of the questions. So I hope when we release this new generation of asset management, it will answer the questions and wishes, and we will keep researching it. It's a huge world, and definitely doubling down on it.
Yeah. So for when we started this project, we thought, okay, this is nice, but we have devices in Atera, we have custom assets in Atera. What else can you want? And I think as the time passed, we realized that this is very, very critical for you guys, for our customers. Maybe one of the most critical aspects in your day-to-day work. And I'm very happy for the opportunity to work on it with Itai as well, and to bring it into life. So thank you also.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure talking to you today. It was a pleasure to share all the content. Excuse us if there were any technical hiccups of the platform, but we made the best plan Bs, backups, and everything to make it look as nice as possible so you can see everything. You will still get the recording afterwards. Don't forget to fill in the survey, um, join our community pages, and participate in the future webinars. We have them every other week. And feel free to check out atera.com/webinars, which is pinned by Lior. And thank you so much for attending and spending and investing your time together, like with us, in us, and in Atera and the upcoming features. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Bye for now.
Thank
See you in
you.
the next one.
Thank you very
Bye bye.
much.